Good morning, everybody. Coming up on this hour of San Antonio Living, our etiquette expert, Diane Gottsman, is here. She is answering your etiquette questions today, like this one. Should you tip your hairdresser when she's the owner of the salon? Find out what Diane thinks. That's coming up.
San Antonio Living starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to San Antonio Living. I'm Shelly Miles. You know, we often get messages from our viewers asking us to answer a variety of etiquette questions. Diane has collected a few messages from you, and we are going to answer them on air today. From pets to weddings, we've got something for everybody that you can relate to. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you. I love all of these questions.
I love it, too. And you guys can send them to Diane on social media. She's on Instagram at Diane Gottsman. And, of course, we'll be answering those for you as well. Okay, this first question came from a viewer who travels with their dog a lot, right? The dog is always with them, so it is expected that when they show up, the dog will show up as well. So the viewer took the dog to a party, basically, and the person hosting the party was so upset about it.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. This was a very long email, and so the word expected is the problem, because you can't just expect that your family pet can go everywhere.
Okay.
There could be reasons, there could be allergies. So I think always, even though we love our animals, always ask first. Look at that sweet animal.
They're so sweet.
But you know, they are not always welcome for good reason.
Okay.
And so part two of this question was they wanted to put away this little baby in another room, and the owner didn't want that.
Yeah.
So I think it's always best to check. And so in this case, the host was correct for trying to put the dog in the other room because there were two serious allergies.
Okay.
So they had to take care of their guests.
Yes. So if you want to bring your pet, you should just ask, right?
Ask. It's not expected, but you know, some people travel with their pets, and that's fine too.
Okay, this is an interesting one. What is the rule when it comes to giving back the engagement ring if the wedding doesn't happen?
Okay, different states have different rules. In Texas, the person that
gifted
dumps the other person, that breaks up.
Yeah.
Well, the person that breaks up with a person should not expect the ring back.
Okay, good to know.
So, the reality is, if it's an heirloom, if it's a family heirloom, you want to give it back because that is in the family. But it really depends on who's breaking up with who and how the relationship went. So you're going to use your best judgment. But just know, if you give something away, anytime, a gift is a gift. You should not expect it back.
No matter what.
Okay. Yeah, be careful.
Okay, here's a question from a viewer who lives in a neighborhood. They have a neighborhood playground. All the kids and family meet up at the playground, but there's one neighbor that brings some extra guests to the playground all the time, and they're aggressive with the kids. Yeah. What do you do in that situation?
You know, I think you just have to be honest. And, the part of this email said, can I have a separate play date and not invite that family? And I think that you're going to hurt feelings. So you can say, listen, when you have Johnny and Timmy and Cindy over, it causes some friction. So if you don't mind, we're going to take a step back during that time, and we'll catch you later. So just be honest. And, they may not even know there's an issue. So the family could actually talk to those kids and say, listen, no throwing rocks or no pulling hair or whatever they're doing. Yeah.
Okay. This is an interesting one. There's a neighbor who, takes their dog on a walk every day. And, of course, the dog, relieves himself here and there, and the neighbor does the right thing by picking it up in a poopy scoop bag.
Right.
The problem is that this neighbor disposes the bag in the other neighbor's trash container. Is that okay?
No. This person is the person who somebody else is disposing into their receptacle that's on the curb.
Yeah.
Now, I talked to Larry at the sanitation department here in San Antonio, and Larry said it's not illegal. It's not like you're dumping a television into somebody else's can, but it is impolite. So, if you are carrying your little bag of poop, take it home and drop it in your own trash.
You should never put your trash in other people's trash. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? Even cups and Kleenexes, and just wait till you get home.
Okay.
It would be the nicest thing.
Okay. This is a weird one. Someone sent you a question about a friend who goes out to dinner with another friend, and the friend always wants to smell that person's food.
Okay.
That's weird.
That's so weird. It's so weird. But weirdly enough, I know somebody who does that. Ew. And so from personal experience, and also because this obviously happens, you know, sometimes when people are not are watching what they eat, they can't eat it, but they want to smell it.
Let me smell that. Okay, that's
a
weird.
No. That's a no. We don't want people's noses that close to our food.
Okay. All right. We've got another question from a viewer who wants to unfriend her spouse on social media because the spouse is embarrassing.
Okay. Well, that's a bigger issue because now what are you going to say to your spouse? But you know, I say that, you know, just like you don't want to friend your boss in the social media because you don't want, you know, it's best to keep everything separate. When you're married to somebody, you know what's going on anyway, but if you're that frustrated, it's not awful.
Okay.
I mean, it may not be great for the relationship, but if it's really frustrating you and harming the relationship, turn it off.
Okay. All right. We've got time for one more question, and this is the one that we talked about at the beginning of the show. If you go to a salon and your hairstylist is the salon owner, do we still tip them?
So traditionally the answer was you didn't have to, but ask any salon owner today and 99.9% of them will say we appreciate the tip. Okay. So the answer is yes. You know, it's always best to tip, and if they want to decline, they'll say thank you so much, but I'm going to pass on that gratuity.
Okay, absolutely.
At least try.
Yes, tip your hairstylist for sure. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
Great answers. And again, if you've got questions, you can submit them to Diane. We'll try to answer them the next time she comes back. She's on Instagram at Diane Gottsman. You can also find her at the Protocol School of Texas right here in San Antonio. Visit protocolschooloftexas.com.